losers, but we winning though. They used to laugh at us, now we winning though. They used to tell me never in my life.
What's going on, folks? Welcome to another exciting episode of Strong Arm Sports. It's been about a week. We've been gone doing some things, had a little vacation. Both of us did, but we are back. We got a couple of great topics for you guys today. And folks, I'm KSpadeTheProspect.
I'm your boy LaParis57, and together we form Strong Arm Sports. But before we get into the topics, definitely want you guys to leave a happy belated birthday to the homie KSpade in the comment section down below. He just celebrated another birthday, so I want to tell him happy birthday on the show. Leave happy birthday wishes in the comment section. Let him know you guys love him on this show. Show your support down there. Happy belated birthday to my homie.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
Now back to regularly scheduled programming. Spade, you've been out the loop. You've been going for a minute. If you haven't heard, it was some lingerings happening out of Sacramento, California, and it's around George Karl, the Kings, and Boogie Cousins, DeMarcus Cousins. So if you guys haven't heard, George Karl, prior to the NBA draft, was saying that he wanted to ship DeMarcus Cousins out of there. Like, the Kings and their organization, Vlade Divac and them said, no, sir, they like Boogie. DeMarcus Cousins even tweeted snake grass, like snakes in the grass, the little emojis, and was saying that it's some snakes in the grass over here in Sacramento, which I didn't even know Sacramento had grass, but DeMarcus Cousins said it's some snakes in the grass over there. But George Karl, I want to know what you think, Spade. Whose side you want? George Karl trading Boogie, getting Boogie out of there, or you want the side of the Kings keeping Boogie Cousins?
This one is tricky. George Karl was asked before he took this job if he thought he could coach Boogie Cousins, and he said he could. Now, I guess he was looking for a coaching job, and you know how it is when you're going for a job interview. You know, you answering those questions, not necessarily with your honest answer. You saying you can do everything. You need a guy to do what? Yeah, I can do that when I need a job. But I don't understand what could have changed so quickly. George Karl knew that Boogie Cousins was a difficult coach, a difficult player to coach. Let me say that. Here's the thing. I don't necessarily disagree with Cousins being upset. He is the star player for that team. He liked the coach that they just terminated, and they did hire his replacement without consulting with him. How did you expect this guy to act? Now, he has a bit of a bad attitude, but even a nice, quiet star player still want to be consulted with before you replace the coach that he liked. So I don't know who thought this was a good idea. It's really a bad idea, and I hope both sides can get it going, because I think George Karl is a good coach, and I know Boogie Cousins is a good player. But if I got to choose, if I'm Vlade and these guys can't get it together, George Karl, I'm sorry. I got to stick with Boogie. I mean, this guy right here has already shown, I don't even think he's hit his ceiling, bro. I think he could really be an elite big in this league, and I wouldn't be ready to wash my hands of him, especially if you the Kings. Who the hell else people showing up to see?
You ain't lying. I'm going to have to agree with you. If I had to choose, I'm definitely choosing Cousins too. But the Kings, man, get your act together. You know, before I even go on the Kings, let me start with George Karl. George Karl, you knew what you was getting in your hands. You know what you was getting into prior. You know it was some things out there about DeMarcus Cousins, that he had a bad attitude. A lot of people were saying that he's an amazing teammate, but, you know, he got a bit of a anger problem with all the, you see that by him getting all the texts. George Karl, you knew that. So if you took that job, you should have, especially with Cousins, because he's the star, you should have been working to coexist there. Kings, you messed up because you fired the coach that he liked, like my man Spade said. The coach he liked, you guys got rid of. Boogie Cousins, you just had an all-star year. It didn't amount to many wins for the Kings. I think you guys need to sit down and work it out, because I think George Karl could definitely help Cousins, and I think Cousins can help Karl. Now, George Karl, on the other hand, is kind of trying to turn the Sacramento Kings into the Sacramento Nuggets. There's rumors out there, that Karl want to trade for Kenneth Faried. He want to trade for Ty Lawson. He want to trade for some other players with the Denver Nuggets, like Karl. I mean, you was a good coach in Denver, and y'all went to the playoffs, but was y'all really going deep in the playoffs? I don't remember y'all going deep in the playoffs. I'm not talking with Melo. I'm talking post-Melo. Y'all wasn't going deep in the playoffs. Y'all wasn't in Western Conference Finals, and you guys wasn't in championships. So, George Karl, I think it's best for both parties if they're able to work it out. But if one had to go, in my opinion, it gotta be George Karl. It gotta be George Karl.
I agree.
You cannot let Boogie go, man. No, potentially the best big in the whole NBA next to who? Probably Anthony Davis.
Right.
Next to Anthony Davis, like, so you cannot let that go, especially if you're gonna do a trade. Let's just say if a trade happens, who you getting for Boogie Cousins? Like, they was talking about him going to the Lakers. Like, who the Lakers got you on?
They was talking about a second round pick too. I mean, just ridiculous stuff, man. That don't even make any sense.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I definitely stick with Boogie Cousins. If it was somebody had to go, it won't be Cousins.
All right, well, check this out.
Get it together.
You know, we can sit here and question the GM and the ownership of Sacramento, but maybe it's not so easy when you're sitting in the hot seat. So let me turn the tables and put you in the hot seat. All right?
Okay.
Now, recently the media was kind of buzzing about Kevin Love opting out of his contract, LeBron James opting out of his contract. First of all, let me say I don't think that's a big deal. I think that's typical protocol for players who are trying to weigh their options and probably even strong-arm these organizations into better contracts. But at any rate, if you look at the Cleveland Cavalier roster right now, they got a lot of free agents right there. So I'm going to let you play GM, and I want to put you on the hot seat right here. I'm going to throw some names at you. If you want, you can flip the tables back on me and ask me. But I want to ask you how many of these guys you would re-sign, if any. All right?
Okay.
Ready?
Let's go.
All right, well, let's start with the big question mark. Kevin Love. This guy, as everyone knows, was expected to come in and make an immediate impact on this team for one reason or other, injuries or whatever. We really didn't get a chance to see much of Kevin Love this season. Cavs look pretty good without him. You can only wonder if they would look better with him. But if you're the GM, man, do you re-sign Kevin Love or do you let him walk?
I let Kevin Love go. Kevin Love go.
You let Kevin Love go?
I let Kevin Love go. For whatever reason, in my opinion, it didn't work out with Kevin Love and the Cavs. I know towards the end, Kevin Love and the Cavs started putting it together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean together collectively.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you playing with LeBron, I think he can only help you. But for whatever reason, they kind of, you know, and that could be chemistry issues, you know, with them just learning each other. But in my opinion, I like what Mozgov and I like what Tristan Thompson did, and I think Kevin Love really don't fit in with the Cavs. I think it's better if they was just wash their hands with Kevin Love and let him go. And I'm gonna tell you what, before I ask you, you know, LeBron probably made a potential mistake, because if you let Kevin Love go and you don't do like a sign and trade, or you just let him walk outright, you could have you just traded Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love. You traded Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love, and I think Andrew Wiggins could have probably helped the Cavs out this past season that just passed. And you traded Wiggins, a Rookie of the Year caliber guy, and potential All-Star, because coming out of that draft, they were saying that Wiggins was one of the, you know, he was that guy. You traded Wiggins for Kevin Love, and now you could potentially let him walk. Woo, that could have been a mistake, Bron. That could have been a mistake. How do you feel about Kevin Love, though?
To me, I keep him, and I'm a little confused. I'm a little shocked to hear you say you would let him walk. You're talking about what Wiggins could have done to help that team. It wasn't Kevin Love's fault that Olynyk pulled his damn arm out of the socket. I mean, I think he could have helped that team. And don't get me wrong, I love Mozgov, and I really love what Tristan is becoming. He really looks like a force on the boards down there. But let's face it, neither one of those guys are as versatile or as good of a scorer as Kevin Love. I feel like a lot of times we do this out of sight, out of mind thing, because we haven't seen Kevin Love there in a minute. It's like we forgot what he's capable of. We forgot the 30 and 20 games that this guy is still capable of putting up. So I feel like if he was there, he brings another scorer to that team, and they definitely need another scorer. Also, keep in mind, LeBron really likes bigs that can get the hell out the way and give him a clear path to the basket. We didn't get a chance to see that much in the finals because Tristan and Mozzie don't really have that game. Now, Mozzie's got a decent mid-range shot, but still not to the caliber of Kevin Love. So if it was me, I'm re-signing Kevin Love, bro. I am.
Now let me do what I do. Let me strong arm the situation and ask you a question.
All right.
Would you let Kevin Love walk if you can get Dwayne Wade?
Love for Wade?
Yeah.
No. I mean, no, I wouldn't do that. Dude,
You
you feel like
think?
Wade make that team better than Kevin Love? What can Wade bring this team that Kevin Love can't? Another
scorer?
friend? Another woe?
Another scorer?
But Love can score.
I don't know if Love had that killer instinct that Wade had. Wade had the potential to when LeBron's struggling and when LeBron. Let me ask you this: when LeBron goes off the court, do you think Kevin Love could potentially take over as a scorer? Because I know Wade can.
Yes, I think Kevin Love. I think a healthy Kevin Love. Yes, he can, bro. Who was scoring for him? Come on, man, he can score, bro. Who was scoring for him in Minnesota? It wasn't Rubio.
I mean, those stats are inflated though. Like when you only the guy and everybody know the ball got to go through you. I think that helps, man.
You just said with LeBron off the court. With LeBron off the court, he's the man, right? I mean, Kyrie's there and Kyrie can score, but I just honestly feel like he makes that team more versatile. I think it's kind of unfair for us to rate Kevin Love because we didn't get a chance to see enough of him with the Cavs. Do I feel like him leaving the Cavs sabotaged that whole team? No, but I still definitely feel like that team is better with Kevin Love.
Okay, we have to see what the real Cleveland GM think. I think I let Kevin Love go though. Go ahead, Love. Get up
I got another name for you though. You ready for this one here?
Okay.
This one right here might not be as hard for you. Let's talk about a shooter. Some people know him as Earl. Okay. Some people know him as JR. But I'm going to go ahead and put you on the hot seat, man. Would you bring J.R. Smith back?
And JR is a Jersey dude. JR went to a high school that's right down the street from your boy. But I let JR walk. I let JR go, man. JR put together a John Stark-esque type of finals. Like, you just couldn't get it together, man. You just couldn't. When LeBron needed him most, JR just couldn't get the ball in the cup, man. So I think you could get a better option than J.R. Smith. You know, a guy like a Danny Green. I think you could get a guy like a Danny Green. So I let JR go.
That's a really good example. I think I let JR walk too. In JR's defense, when you compare him to Danny Green, there was a couple of games, at least one that I know of, where JR came out on fire. And you know what the Cavs did? Just completely went away from him. Pulled him out the game, just completely went away from him. That's the difference in Danny Green and JR. Like, when Danny Green is on fire, you better believe Tony Parker and the rest of those Spurs are finding a way to get the ball back to Danny Green. And the Cavs didn't do that. So I don't think that J.R. Smith is this horrible player. I don't think he's a star. I think he's a role player. And I think he definitely, as we've seen, has his good days and bad days. But when he's on, he's on. Like, when he's on, nobody can really guard him. He's shooting over people. He's doing all kind of crazy things. It's your job to get him the ball when he's hot. And when he's not hot, it's your job to get him out the game. So, sorry about that, JR, man. We both letting you walk. But I got another name for you.
Yeah, one quick question, though.
Okay, go ahead.
You said JR is not a star. You said he's a role player.
Right.
Do you think JR thinks he's a star?
It would be hard for you to convince me that JR realistically thinks he's a star. I think that JR believes he's star talent, but I don't think even JR thinks he's a star. JR knows that it was a lot of people counting on him to make big shots, and he knows that he built the house for the third little pig that the big bad wolf won't ever be able to blow down. That boy was throwing up bricks. He knows it.
Okay.
All right, so check this out from one shooter to the next. Let's talk about the long-time savvy veteran, James Jones. If I'm not mistaken, he's a multiple-time three-point champion at All-Star Weekend, and he played more minutes for the Cavaliers in this finals than I would have expected him to play. But at any rate, he's a free agent, and I want to know, would you bring this guy back?
I'm bringing James Jones back. I like James Jones. I think he's a good shooter. I definitely think his problem this past year, well, not this past year, but especially in the playoffs, was definitely with the lineup. Black couldn't get the lineup together, and I think that kind of hurt James Jones. But I think I bring James Jones back. He's a seasoned vet. He's a good locker room guy. He's a guy that I think you need. I think you need those seasoned veterans like James Jones on your team that not necessarily play a lot of minutes, but that just, you know, good locker room guys can help you from the bench, tell you what he sees from the bench. And when he's called upon to get in the game, he could be a solid player. You know, he could be a solid player for that game that he's called in. So I think I'll bring James Jones back. And you're not going to pay James Jones that much money. You know what I mean? He's not going to get that much bread. So I think you could definitely bring James. I think I will definitely bring James Jones back.
Wow.
What about you?
Again, I got to disagree with you. Now, I agree with some things. I think you can get them for cheap. I think he's a niche player, and I think the Cavs got away from that. I think they did use him wrong. They tried to use him for more than a niche player. They had him playing defense against some of the best scorers on the Golden State Warriors team. They had him logging longer minutes than I thought he should play. That's not how I would use James Jones. But at the same time, I feel like he's not as reliable of a shooter as he once was. He made his money in the NBA being that guy that could get in, cold, no warm-up, get an open look, and knock it down. And I didn't see him do enough of that for me. So for me, James Jones, and especially at the age that he is right now, I give him his walking papers. Sorry about that, man. I got a few more names. I'm going to try to run through them because I know we got to get to some other stuff in the show. So I'm going to make these quick.
Okay.
Kendrick Perkins, man. You keeping him on or you letting him walk?
Nah, I'm letting Perk go, man. I'm letting Angry Man go. I mean, you know, he didn't play that much, man. Perk, you got to go, man.
Yeah, I got to agree. I mean, you can't convince me he's an asset to the team when he couldn't even get 5 minutes of playing time. He couldn't even average 5 minutes of playing time for the team. I don't understand why these NBA rosters have all these players on the bench that never get in the game. That's just a waste of money.
I mean, making big money, too.
Big money.
Making big money.
Big money. Perk, you out of here, bro. This one right here is going to be tough. Not nearly as easy. We just spoke about this guy when we talked about Kevin Love and whether or not you should keep him. Tristan Thompson has really emerged to be a guy that everybody respects as a hustler on the boards. I heard a wise man, Charles Barkley, once say that rebounding isn't about height. It isn't about skill. It's only about desire. The man who wants that ball the most will get it. And I believe that Tristan wants it better than a lot of people. This is a tough one, man. You re-signing Tristan or you let him walk?
I'm letting Tristan. I am bringing Tristan Thompson back. To me, he's the poor man, real poor. Poor man Dennis Rodman, but his will and desire, the way that man attacked the offensive glass too, like he gets like 4 or 5 offensive rebounds. Right. So the way he attacked that's 4 or 5 extra possessions on the offensive side of the ball, and I just think you need that type of guy on your team. I'm definitely bringing Tristan Thompson back. It's like no question.
We agree here. I mean, I don't even have to go into it. You pretty much said it all. Nothing is more valuable than extra scoring attempts. So yeah, give me Tristan back. This next guy right here, man. This guy right here is known more for his hair than anything else, but Iman Shumpert is a guy that also guys kind of respect him and expect him to be a big-time defender. And at times, he was out there getting fricasseed up, man. So would you bring back Iman Shumpert or would you let him walk?
I'll bring back Iman. I mean, it's tough out there when you running off all them screens. A couple times out there, he just looked lost though. It was a few times I was like, "What is Iman doing?" But I'll bring Iman back. Other than the finals, he's a solid defender. He can potentially knock down the shot when he's open. You know what I mean? So I'll bring back. I think he's a good asset. I'll bring him back. I bring back Iman.
I bring him back too. And I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but I want people to also remember that a hard screen was set on Iman with his arm out. And it looked like he hyperextended his elbow. His arm bent the wrong way. And he showed a lot of heart and toughness. And he actually came back in that game and then didn't miss any more time. So you need a good defender. You need a guy with some toughness. And at times, he really looked like he had a pretty decent jump shot that he could spot him, help that team out with. So Iman, come back to the locker room. I would re-sign you. LeParis, the last guy I got for you is the Australian sensation, depending on who you ask. He's either the GOAT or the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about Dellavedova, man. Would you bring this kid back?
I think I'll bring Matthew Dellavedova. I just hope Matthew ain't slurping the sauce. Matthew, when you was gritty, he was that gritty kid that I'm gonna earn my way in the NBA by being this tough little defender. I hope he ain't slurping the sauce that Matthew think he is in this amazing superstar, potential Jeremy Lin-esque type player. I hope he ain't slurping that sauce. But if Matthew is still on Matthew Dellavedova, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to defend hard. I'm going to do whatever the team needs to be that guy. I'm bringing Matthew back. I just hope he ain't slurping the sauce. Before you go, Spade, let me tell you, did you hear that Matthew Dellavedova is getting a movie? They're making a movie about what this guy just went through in the NBA playoffs. And the funny thing is, it's not even going to have a happy ending because they didn't win it all. And he started getting cooked. at the end of the damn, at the end of the series. But they're
Tell me
making a
you
movie
joking about
this
the
guy.
movie, though. You joking,
I
right?
swear to God, that's the God honest truth, bruh. They're making a movie about Matthew Dellavedova.
What they gonna call it? The little engine who thought he could and almost did but didn't quite do it? The hell they gonna call
it? I think it's
that
called
movie?
The Deli. I think it's called The Deli.
That's awful. I'm bringing Deli back. I call him the king of the 50-50 balls. That's what he earned his money doing.
That's right.
And even though, as you say, he started to get cooked at the end of that series, keep in mind the Cavs don't need this guy to be a star. They don't even need this guy to be a starter. Kyrie, this is where you come in on staying healthy, by the way. But if Kyrie stays healthy, this guy is just a role player, and he's a hell of a role player. Yeah, he got cooked toward the end of that series. He was fatigued. He was drained.
Yeah.
He was ran crazy, and he gave all he had in his tank. And some Dellavedova get back in this locker room. I resign him.
All right, let's move on. We can run through this quick. You know what I mean? We don't got to take all day. The NBA draft happened. Right. We're going to go over some winners, and I want to go over some winners and losers. I want to tell you some of the winners and the losers that I think we don't got to take long, Spade. But so far, you watch the NBA draft. Who are your winners and losers, and why?
This one might shock you, but I see the Lakers as a winner, man. I felt like D'Angelo Russell was that dude. I know everybody felt like the Lakers should have taken a big. Being in LA, you kind of need that whole superstarness, and I think Russell's got it. I think he's that dude. And of course, the other winner of the NBA draft is my team, man, the Miami Heat. The Heat did an excellent job by taking Winslow. A lot of pros felt like Winslow was the second best player in the draft, and depending on how you look at it, he could possibly be the best player in the draft. Don't kill me on that, but that was huge for the Miami Heat. To me, they are the two winners.
Okay, so for my winners, I definitely got my Chicago Bulls. They drafted Portis. I like that kid. I think that kid has the potential to be a star. Maybe not a superstar, maybe that tier under a superstar, but I think he can be the real deal in the NBA. I like Portis. Another winner I have the Charlotte Hornets, man. I like what MJ is doing down there. They drafted the big Kaminsky. Michael Jordan made a lot of trades pre-draft, got Batum. They got a nice looking squad down there to go along with what they already had. And I know they didn't make the playoffs this past year, but I like that Mike is making moves, better moves. You know, Mike usually make a move and you be like, what is Mike doing? But now it look like Mike got people around him that are making solid moves that can help make his basketball team better. So I got the Hornets as a winner as well. A loser. You picked the Lakers as a winner. I'm going to pick them as a loser. Not because of Russell. Not because of Russell, because I like that kid. They drafted Larry Nance. Larry Nance's son. Excuse me. I think his name Larry Nance Jr. or Larry Nance III. I think he's a junior. But he actually put out a tweet prior like this year, prior like 2012 when Kobe was going through some issues, and he was like, I hope Kobe don't rape no girls up in blah, 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 Denver or whatever. He called Kobe a rapist.
He was a kid.
Now, that could be, Spade, I'm just saying, that can be a lot of locker room friction out there now. The GM of the Lakers said he didn't know about the tweet prior to drafting him, but that could definitely be an issue with a guy like Kobe in your locker room going at this young guy, man. It could potentially get this young kid out of here. And of course, another loser gotta be the Philadelphia 76ers. And not because of Okafor. If Philly wanted to draft Okafor, I'm good with that. If you drafting the best players on the board, I get why you take Jaleel. But what was they doing with the other picks? They drafted like 4 more centers that the little dude, Fran, the little overseas analyst, said that these guys aren't coming over here no time soon. They drafted like 3 or 4 more centers. Why are they drafting all these centers? You're not even putting together a team that can be competitive. You're putting all your eggs in Okafor, which I think once he's done with his contract, he's out. He's just counting. He's just counting
his jersey down. He don't even want to be there.
Yeah, man. He don't even want to be there, man. So I just think that as soon as Okafor get the first chance to be on the first train, or plane, or car, or man, he'll walk out of Philadelphia. Yeah, he's out of there. But I just don't. If I'm a Philly fan, I'm like, they keep pushing this trust the process. What's the process when you draft 4 centers in a draft? You already had Embiid. You got Noel. Now you draft Okafor, and then you drafted 3 more centers. What's your plan, Philly? Like, you really. And then they're saying that they're going to be aggressive. My last point, babe. They said they're going to be aggressive in free agency. Who's going there?
They're going to have to be aggressive.
And when they, I hope when they mean they're going to be aggressive, that means for them to get for them to draw another free agent away from another team, they got to give them the max. For example, a guy like J.R. Smith, not just throwing his name out there, you would have to offer J.R. Smith the max for him not to sign with somebody else. Because why would he go there? Why?
Well, J.R. would go just so he can jack up contested shots. But I definitely.
Well, I mean, he was just one of the free agents that I just thought off the top of the head. But any free agent, they're going to have to offer him a max. Any guy. Because you would be an idiot to go to Philly. For what? Philly just blatantly saying, we tanking. We tanking.
Yeah,
that's terrible, man.
It's got to be tough to be a 76er fan. I'm with you. You can't tell us to trust the process if nobody can explain what the hell the process is. What is the process?
That's right, man.
Right now, the process looks like you don't want fans in the arena and you don't want a happy, nucleus of players on your team. I don't really know what they got going on. I guess you could get him a loser. I'm going to go somewhere else with my loser badge, though. I want to hang my loser badge on the chest of the New York Knicks. I just felt like it was some great players. Even if you wanted, I understand they wanted Okafor. And he was gone, and you wanted a big. But Frank the Tank Kaminsky was still there. Why don't you take Frank? I don't understand what the Knicks are doing. This is no knocking that foreign kid. Go ahead, bro.
I said Winslow was there. They could have took Winslow.
I mean, but I'm saying if they wanted height, like, they took like a 7'2" guy. If you wanted a big guy, I'm taking a guy that I've seen. I don't know, man. And Carmelo Anthony at the time was rumored to not be happy with the draft pick, which his opinion don't matter. You only care about money and you got your check coming. So nobody really gives a damn what you think, Carmelo. He later tried to, switch his whole thing up. He replied to a comment on Instagram and he considered that kid a steal. He said he's happy to have him and he's a steal. I think that's political. That's PR. Somebody told him, look, Melo, we gave you your money. You shut the hell up, all right? And that's probably what changed that. But I hang my loser badge on the Knicks. I can understand you hanging your loser badge on the 76ers. I don't understand you hanging that badge on the Lakers.
Okay.
I don't.
I'm telling you, that Larry Nance issue I think it's going to be a problem.
Kobe himself said it is quote-unquote water under the bridge. Kobe's fine, bro.
Okay. Kobe said that in public, baby. Kobe back there like, where the rookie at?
Kobe don't
Sharks
come to practice anyway, so
baby.
straight.
Sharks are born swimming, champ. You know what I'm saying?
All right, what else we got, bro? Oh, it's on me.
Moving on. Yeah, it's on you.
Oh, so guys, as you guys know, last week, it was last week, we started to build our all-time NFL team. We started off with the secondary. We both put up some pretty amazing secondaries, although we realized after the show that we left off our nickel back. Most of you guys did list 3 cornerbacks down there, so you caught us on our slip. But this week, as promised, we are back with our linebackers. We're going to give you guys 4 linebackers, 2 outsides, and 2 middles. LeParis, you want to kick this thing off, bro?
Well, I mean, my number 1 backer that I'm taking got to be the GOAT. Give me Lawrence Taylor. One of the best, if not, a lot of people say LT is the best football player ever. But definitely one of the best linebackers ever. So give me LT.
I mean, this is weird, but I agree. I mean, I don't know how much of LT we saw was pure God-given talent and how much of that was him being hyped up off that coke. But I tell you what, if you're a quarterback, that 56 was the last thing you wanted to see coming off that edge.
You
Give
ain't
me
lying.
LT.
You ain't lying. So who you got at your other outside?
My other outside backer, this one was tough because I kind of wanted to go with some modern era guys. I almost wanted to throw Terrell Suggs in there, but I felt like it was too early. So, man, I went with the late, great Derek Thomas. This guy was a pass rusher. For his era, he was like the new LT. He was it. Yeah, man. So, give me Derek Thomas.
Now, it's funny because I was going to go Derek Brooks.
Me too.
And then in my mind, I was like, you know what? How can you not go Derek Thomas? He was taken from us way too soon. But the games he played, he was a factor. LT and Derek Thomas coming off the edge, I think I'm solid there. I'm creating havoc. So give me Derek Thomas as well. We agree on both, man. That's rare.
That's rare.
That's rare.
All right, so middle linebackers, man. I'm gonna go ahead. Let me have my moment. I know y'all not gonna agree. To me, the greatest middle linebacker I saw came straight out of the U, man. Give me Ray Lewis, whether you love him or hate him. I ain't talking about his off the field stuff before y'all fill up the comment section with that. We talking football. On the football field, give me Ray Lewis.
This is crazy, but we agree again. Give me Ray Lewis. I want a guy. Yeah, I picked Ray. It's crazy because I was like, I know Spade. I knew he wasn't going to think I was going to pick Ray. But give me a guy that can motivate 11 men to run through a brick wall, and that's Ray Lewis. Not to mention that he was a phenomenal player, but he want to motivate the other 11 to run through the brick wall. That's why I picked Ray Lewis.
Agreed. Who's your other middle backer?
So you want me to go? My other middle backer, I don't know, Spade. It might shock you a little bit. Give me Mike Singletary, known for his little beady eyes just staring down the pipe. Give me Mike Singletary, a guy that just tackled everything. I want Mike Singletary.
You ain't gonna believe this, but I swear to you, I got Mike Singletary written down as well. It's crazy, but to me, Mike Singletary, he was, I don't know, I'm always shocked that I don't hear more people talk about Mike Singletary. I do realize that the great Dick Butkus was also a Bears linebacker, so when people talk Bears greats, they talk Butkus. But to me, Mike Singletary was it. Like, he played in the 4-3. He was that middle backer, and he would get to either sideline. He just swarmed the field. He made plays. Yeah. And like you said, those eyes, you could see him. He would just be sitting back there analyzing the field. He was like a cyborg. Give me Mike Singletary. How the hell do we have the exact same 4 backers, bro?
It's crazy. Like, this is the first time in, like, SAS history, man, that we agreed on something completely different. But we agreed. We had our pick of a ton of players, and we picked the same guys. But, I mean, that team right there, that's, them backers are amazing. But let me throw something else in there. We didn't pick a third corner. We didn't pick a third corner last week. Let's throw a third corner in there. Let's throw a nickel, a guy that we want in our nickel to play, as the nickel corner on our team. So who you got as your third corner?
You know what? You probably won't agree here, but give me Champ Bailey. And I know I feel bad going with such a modern age guy. I know Champ is definitely on the decline, but in Champ's prime, man, he had deceptive speed. He wasn't that get the stopwatch 40 speed guy like Darryl Green and Deion Sanders. But Champ was just he was so textbook. He was everywhere he was supposed to be when he was supposed to be there. Give me Champ, baby.
I agree.
Don't tell me you got Champ, bro.
I don't have Champ.
Oh, okay.
I don't have Champ.
Okay.
But as my nickel back, he was a starter for a very long time. He was an amazing player. Played on a bunch of bad teams, so a lot of people forget about him. Give me the Arizona Cardinals, the St. Louis Cardinals corner, Aeneas Williams. Give me Aeneas Williams. If you guys don't remember Aeneas Williams, go look up this play Aeneas Williams had. He the one that he injured Steve Young. He killed Steve Young on a cornerback blitz, and that was pretty much it for Steve Young. Aeneas Williams came on a corner blitz and murdered Steve Young. But Aeneas Williams played on a bunch of bad teams and was the best player on that team. A cornerback was the best player on the team. They continued to test Aeneas Williams, and he made him pay. And you just seen that because he was inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So give me Aeneas Williams as my third corner.
That's a good pick.
Aeneas Williams.
If you would have said Champ Bailey there, I'd have went and taped up my windows. I'd have swore you had a damn drone or something flying around out here looking at my dry erase board right here.
Nah, man. Well, we definitely want you guys to leave your backers down in the comment section down below. You know what I mean? I think pretty much the backers that we have, you guys got to agree with. If you don't have LT and some of these guys on your all-time backer list, then I want to play your team 16 games. Because we gonna wreak havoc.
I don't expect a lot of these guys to have Mike Singletary, maybe even not Derek Thomas. I think our age puts us in that era that we saw these guys in their prime. But LT and Ray Lewis, it's going to be tough to beat those guys at their positions.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Spade, that's it? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I mean, we had not many topics, but it still was an action-packed show, and we thank you guys for tuning in as usual.
Yeah, man, we want to thank y'all for watching. As usual, if you new, bang the subscribe button up there. Right there. If you're a regular here, bang the like button down there. Subscribe over there. If you don't want to see our mug shots, it will be the audio podcast will be up everywhere. Links will be down there. We appreciate all y'all, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next episode. Peace.